I got a presentation for you guys tonight.
Oh,
We'll see what you think.
Just a couple hours presentation.
It's a 75-slide presentation. It's awesome.
I made a presentation today in about 15 minutes. It's like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. Yeah, just right in the nick of time.
There you go. Yeah, so Nicole will probably come flying in when she can. Next week, we're on Pelican. And Shannon's going to go there one night. Can't wait to find out what night, or Saturday morning or something. I got to cruise that lake.
Saturday.
Ugly, yeah, I know. I said, yeah, that's
What
cool.
was that, right?
Yeah, rain, I think, right? That's maybe when I'll go. Nobody will be there. Put my rain gear on.
big lake.
It's a big lake.
It's all a meeting to order.
Structure.
He's ready for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I'm district mission statements. I have. That work. Lindsay, you probably know it by heart.
Oh,
But
in
I'll
partnership
have
with
that
the
right here.
communities.
No, I've got it. In partnership with the communities, the mission of the Dilworth Clinton Felton School District is to educate individuals in an environment of trust and respect so they become self-directed, responsible, lifelong learners. All right, roll call. We've got everyone on the board is here except Brittany and Laura, and Nicole is probably going to be coming. She can be free. Additionally, I have Brooke Belka and Mr. Hunstead. No visitors today. All right. On to number 4, the agenda. Do you have any changes to the agenda? Okay, get a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Lindsay.
Amy, actually, I'll second it.
Motion by Amy.
Yep.
Second by Lindsay. Any questions, discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, public comments and rebel recognition.
State softball, state track, 27 kids went to track, and we have a state champ in the triple jump.
Ellie Sosa.
Ellie
yeah.
Sosa.
State champ.
State champ as a 9th grader.
9th grade
Triple
state
jump.
champ in triple jump.
She's now ranked #1 in all classes in the state of Minnesota.
That's just amazing. It's crazy. So kudos and congrats
Yeah.
to
Loves
her and
it.
the whole track team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 27 kids went to state track. That's
It's awesome.
That is awesome. So kudos to all of them, boys and girls. Softball team played really well, lost 2-1 and 1-0. They gave up 1 earned run in 2 games, and it could have easily won them both. Very easily could have won them both. And, so great representation again of the school. So congrats to them. Other things. Fishing league did not go well for me. No.
Graduation went well.
Graduation, well, that's true. We haven't had a meeting since then. Graduation was good. Yep, so that was,
Yeah, lots of good feedback on Friday night again. I think it's a success, and glad to hear that people are liking that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
Just kind of finishes the week off and just caps the kind of that evening. Now the weekend can celebrate. So
right, it gives some time for celebrations, yeah, for sure.
for sure, yeah, wonderful.
with Memorial Day weekend, a lot of people work early on Friday, so it's,
Yeah, I think so, and then they have a weekend to get that in, or their parties or whatever, and still can have somewhat of a day or two, so, yeah. Thanks for saying that, Lindsay.
Yeah.
I've heard similar things, so that's good.
All right, any other rebel recognition? Then we'll go on to item number 6, 6.1, board committee reports. Policy
we met last time after the last meeting, and really, all in all, not much, we didn't change a lot to any policies at all.
Nope, the only one that we discussed, and I was going to look up, that we said we would change that, experience for the confidential employees. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, change, .1A to 15 years instead of 25 for confidential staff.
And that then is consistent with our teacher's contract and the other, and our admin contract, so we felt it was only right that we made that the same, so.
But everything else was just MSBA guided statute change, if there was anything really at all, but,
Yeah.
so.
Questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll go on to 6.2, superintendent report.
All right, just a reminder, the board work session is next Wednesday. What time did we say? Noon, right? Yeah, we're gonna meet at my house at noon, we'll do our work and all that. My house is getting painted this week, so it should be freshly painted by next week maybe, or hopefully. If not, my admin meeting, we're gonna go around the fire pit or something. We gotta kind of ad lib this week with their meeting, but by next week we should have things figured out for you guys. And then we'll have supper there too. So, yeah, so just a reminder that of that. I believe I shared the agenda. If I haven't, I will do this. I think I shared it. Yeah, I did. Okay, perfect. Plenty of work there to do, or just review too for you guys with the strategic plan and such. Lake Agassiz Ed Cooperative Board Member. We need somebody to say, hey, I could do that. And since some people aren't here, I don't know if you want to nominate. So I guess we want to know soon. And I'd say between now and the next board meeting, we got to have somebody picked, because he wants to invite this person to the their July board meeting, whoever that might be. Okay?
What do we have to think and discuss on?
Can we add
the
that
work
to
Oh, there you
session?
go. We'll pick it out at the work session. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, I
Good
think
idea.
that makes sense.
Good idea.
How long is the term?
It's a
Is it
year,
just on a
I think
year-by-year
it's a
basis?
year-by-year basis.
You know, I don't know that, yeah. Could
I
be.
think I asked him that, I said, what is the
Okay.
commitment, and he, obviously board members change. And he said it's typically a year-by-year thing.
I think our reorganization, that's a good point.
Yeah.
During our reorganization meeting in January,
Yeah.
we could, that was,
Let's
yeah,
address it.
yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to do it again, great, otherwise we can, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. The next thing is a little presentation on enrollment. So I did give you guys a handout that shows this year and whatever, but I'm gonna be on this board right behind you. You can look straight ahead if you can see it up there. Or you can turn around and look here. View, that would help if I did that. So hopefully, yeah, so wherever you want to look. I'm gonna just work on this back here rather than the computer because it's easier. So this is just, I wanted to do some of this, there's some budget things for you at each board meeting for just kind of a series of information so our public can also see and hear and whatnot. So I thought that would turn the page, that didn't work. Oh, right here. Voila. So this is school district data. So this comes from the State Demographic Center in the state of Minnesota. This is the population of our school district. So if you draw the borders of our school district around Felton and Glendon and Dilworth, our population in 2020 was 6,593, and in 2023 our population was 6,769. That's everybody, right? That part of the census. So just to give you an idea of how many people are in our communities, there you go. This is something you've seen before, so I just threw it back on there just so everybody can see it. This was part of our audit and our enrollment over the years. So this is something I shared in that March update. It's on our website, kind of a little information about our demographics, basically. So you can see we've lost 99 students in a while, over the past, since 2018. But good news is that I put it at the bottom. I made it fairly bold so everybody can see it, that our enrollment is up to 1551 at the end of last year. So I'll get into that in detail a little bit more, but again, that's just the trend. I just thought that was important to be a part of this. This is the other piece. I shared a little bit of this as well in that report. And the one thing here is there's student choice and student choice. Well, there's student choice, there's parent choice, right? People have a lot of choices nowadays, so they can charter school, private school, homeschool, and then of course public school, right? There's just a lot of options. And in order to be competitive, we need to stay on the cutting edge. So I just put it in bold here because we did after the FFA, we added this ALP, our Rebel Kids Care, our farm to school lunches, our new shop, things that we're trying to do to make sure we can maintain, sustain our enrollment, and that's a big piece of it. So then at the bottom of this, you can see we finished 23-24 school year, 19 students more than we had the year before, which is, we trended in the wrong direction for 5-6 years, and now we want to make that adjustment and hopefully maintain. So I'm going to give you more information. Now, this is interesting data. So this is open enrollment. And I took this right from MDE today. We are up for last school year, FY24, we're a plus 309 with open enrollment. You can see where they come from. So the top is who comes to us and what's their home district. And we've known for a while Moorhead is where we get most of our students. 474 students come from the Moorhead district. Some of that, which is interesting, is right in Dilworth, right? Because the Dilworth City and the Moorhead Public School kind of get intersected there. So some of that is just, hey, we live in Dilworth, so why wouldn't we come to school there? Well, that's still an open enrollment here. So this is where they're coming from. And then this is our students and where they go. So here's the outs. So the bottom portion is the outs. So you can see Ada Borup's on there, Barnesville, Moorhead, Ullin, Hitterdale, Hawley. Those are the schools that get some of our students. But plus 309, that's the bottom line on this is, hey, where are we at on that positive meter? For last school year, we were up 309 students with our open enrollment, so that's a positive thing. We want to keep it that way. This is just the state of Minnesota, so we talked about student choice or parent choice. Public schools, you can see it's declined from 22-23 to 23-24. The population, not huge, but it's changed. I looked at about 3 different sites, and these numbers vary a little bit. So it's like, okay, I took this from MDE, and I'm thinking, well, those are the guys that pay us per our students, so I'm going to go with them. Private charters, so this is online schools. This is your religion school, like your Park Christian, Oak Grove, well, not Oak Grove's in North Dakota, but you know what I mean, those private schools, yeah. And then charter schools, there's a lot of charter schools in the state, and that's the enrollments there. You can see that's gone up. Not a great deal, but it's gone up. And then homeschooling too is probably the biggest bump as far as percentage-wise. It's still a fairly small number, but we're seeing that increase. So that's the other challenge we have is we're not the only show in town anymore. And that's where our programming has got to be on top of this game. And then this is us. So this is FY24. So last school year, we finished with 1551. Total K-12 students at DGF was 1551. Now, as your board members, you're super wise with enrollment. You know our weighted average daily membership, or the WADM, is what we get paid on. Because our high school students are worth 1.2, that's 712. So you look at our enrollment with the WADMs, our weighted number is 1675. Couple key things to think about. This past year, we had 134 kindergarten students. In the high school, 712, these are the 1.2ers, we had 696. Now our projection as of today, so again, this next one here, so that was 6.3, so that was the end of the school year, that's how we finished. We were higher than this at times. We were a little lower than this maybe once or twice. Mostly we were higher than this, but that's how we finished the year. So it's also important to know that the state is tracking us throughout the year. So we got paid more than the 1551 because we were in the 60s for a while. So at that point, you're getting a little more, you get a little less. I just wanted you guys to know how we finished the year was 1551, and that was our weighted number with those key things. So now going into next year, as of today, right now, our K-12 enrollment is looking like it'll be 1531. So we have 20 students less, but then when you look at the weighted, it's actually up 2. And you'll see why in just a second. And that's 34 more high school students. So our 6th grade going into 7th grade is a big class. We lost 96 seniors, or 99 seniors graduated, but we have 130, it's something, I don't have it in front of me now. 135. So that's a huge jump, right? So yeah, 34 students more. And so that makes a difference. Why do we only have 1531? As of today, we have 80 kindergartners.
Crazy.
80 is less than 134. I'm super good at math.
Yes, it is.
So that's our, if this number can recover, now, people would say, jeepers, it's only June, you got plenty of time. Well, this is true. Typically, at this time of the year, we're in the upper 90s, almost 100. The year that I came and we had 108 kindergartners that year, at this time, we were just short of 90, I believe. It was like 88 or something. So if that holds somewhat true, maybe we get 20 more over the summer. If we can get to 100, it'd be nice to be better than that, but this is our reality right now. The good news though is this 712 is the 34 students more. We have 730 that'll be in 7 through 12 based on today's numbers. And that's why our weighted and our paid number is going to be up just a couple.
So this.
Again, so if we can increase the kindergarten, I'm sorry, yeah.
No, that's okay, but like Amy just pointed out, you ELP, you have 0 next
Yep.
year.
And the
So
reason, so it's a good question. So Lindsay, on our enrollment sheet, our ALP says 0 because we don't know right now who will be in it. Typically what happens is you'll lose a junior or senior, but they're gonna slide into that.
Okay.
So then you'll see our junior and senior numbers maybe fall 1 or 2 or 5,
Yeah.
but they end up in the LP instead of going to another alternative learning center or something. They're staying with us now typically, so we don't lose them. So right now to start next year, we don't know who will be in there for sure.
So our weighted ADM would probably be stay stable from that. I mean, if they moved around.
Right.
That stays the same. They're still.
Correct. Yep, our ALP, they're still worth 1.2 because they're high school kids, yes. So when they shift to the ALP, if that happens, the ALP is interesting too, because we got a couple things going on there, reporting that with the state, with their time and their credits. There's a couple ways you weight them, and so they're not always worth a 1.2, because some kids don't make it full time, but then we get 0.6 or 0.45, which is still better than 0, right? So we're working with them. It's not always a perfect, they're a full-time student. Some are, some aren't, but at least we get some credit for that time. And so that's why, the other reason why we started the LP is, one, we want to help kids to get them there across the finish line. Second thing is it helped us with our weighted ADM, so. I think. So it wasn't a half hour, it wasn't 45 slides, but it's. If I can.
So everybody's watching, find the kindergartners.
Get
This is during COVID time. People were at home.
No, not quite.
Took me a second. I'm with you.
Yeah, so, whatever's going on out there.
I'm not really sure.
Is enrollment across the state, is it generally
Well, that's,
kind of flat? I know you had the one
it's
slide
down,
with
yeah,
the.
it's
I mean,
down. I think
but-
the overall enrollment in
It's
public
all
schools is down about
kindergartners.
1,500 kids,
Can't
statewide.
do it in my head.
Some go up, some go down, but in general, yeah,
That's
it's good as
54
it can.
kids. It's 54.
It
Kindergarten,
is.
that's like,
Now, 134 is a bigger class, but we have some of those, well, thankfully, one of those groups is going in 7th grade. So we kind of have this yo-yo. We have 130 some, we get 110. We have 130 some, we have 108. We have 130 some, it's been, I guess, the yo-yo, the up and downs, but so some future encouraging numbers is our preschool has got more kids in it enrolled for next year than we have in kindergarten. So the following year, then again, we should see it decline and trend back up. So It's not like that's gonna be the new trend, it's like, oh shoot, 80 to 180, nope, the following year is back up again, so. Kind of feels like a yo-yo, so. Questions for me on? There you go. There's your superintendent report for today.
Very good. We'll move on to 7.1, approval of minutes. Need a motion for the approval of minutes for the May 28th meeting. Do I have a motion? So, motion by Micah. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Amy. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to number 8, the consent agenda. Here we have the to approve the bills for June 2024 in the amount of
$118,666.15.
Your treasurer's monthly budget report is in your packet. Approve that, and then approve the resignation of Chelsea Keller, middle school math teacher, effective the end of the 2023-2024 school year. Do I have a motion? Motion by Nicole, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Lindsay. Any questions or discussion?
I just want to remind you guys, as we get close to the end of this year, fiscal year, so July 1 obviously starts our new fiscal year. If you look at our percentages right now, we're at 81.75, and we should be at 83. If you recall, 1% is about 190,000. So when you look at that, you say, okay, well, we're gonna a little bit better than that we have kind of sitting there. Anytime you close up the year, it's, sometimes you get a little jump to clean something up or whatever, but we're trending in a good spot, saying that, hey, we got a little bit of that sitting on the backside to help clean it up. We will be finishing up all of our ESSER funds, and this, as you guys know, on this budget, FY24 budget. So Marcus and I met this morning, he's gonna clean that up, and that should be all spent now by July 1, and then obviously the audit and whatnot. So we have a budget committee meeting tonight too, but one of the things, just so everybody hears, our unassigned fund balance with all the work we've been doing on that, it's gonna be anywhere between 1 and 1.1. There's an outside shot of getting just over 1.1. So my goal was 1.2. We're gonna be close. So.
And our ultimate goal is to be at 1.9.
Yes.
No, I just thought it's always helpful to people to remember that.
He's giving you positive feedback and then we were just digging.
No.
Well, we're growing it from 850 some thousand to just over $1 million, which is good.
Be
It's
over
just,
that $1 million mark is after the years of talking about it, so thank you for putting that as a goal.
yeah,
Awesome
and
job.
this next year is going to be a challenge, as we've talked about. But yeah, we're going to talk about that more in the budget committee meeting too tonight. So yeah, thanks. Thanks, David.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Motion in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Signed. Motion carries. On to 9.1. This is approval for second reading of the following policies: 417 chemical use and abuse, 420 students and employments with sexually transmitted infections and diseases and certain other communicable diseases and infection conditions, 421 gifts to employees and school board members, 422 policies incorporated by reference, 423 employee-student relationships, 425 staff development and mentoring, 427 workload limits for certain special education teachers, 430 post-retirement health care savings arrangement, 440 employee use of social media. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Lindsay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Nicole. Any questions or discussion? I think we just heard that not making changes related to these policies.
Yeah, it's pretty much per MSB. Yes.
Any other questions or discussions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. On to 9.2. This is to approve the first and only reading of the following policies: 506 student discipline, 507 corporal punishment and prone restraint, 507.5 school resource officers, 514 bullying prohibition policy, 612.1 development of parent and family engagement policies for Title I programs, 617 school district insurance of preparatory and high school standards. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Lindsay, do I have a second?
Amy.
Amy,
Sorry.
sorry.
It's okay.
You're good.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Lindsay. Any questions or discussion?
Was school resource officer removed from the prone restraint?
Believe so, yeah.
It's its own policy now, so yeah.
It's a separate, the SRO is a separate policy, it's not.
I saw that was,
Yeah.
it was the 0.5. I just wanted to make sure that the prone restraint piece was officially resolved outside of that.
It was, yeah, it's the new stuff, sorry, the new legislation, new passing. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 507.5 is a new policy altogether.
Yes, it's its own, yeah.
Any-
Yeah, good
Which
question.
is governed by each SRO's own home agency, correct?
Right, because some are a local police station, some are county, some are whatever, and whatever that agreement is and what they come up with this.
Because it has to meet the legislature anyways.
It
just
does.
is going to be its own, it's not specific to each. We're not creating policy for the department, correct?
Correct. Yeah, we don't want to go there because that's slippery. Yeah.
Just making sure.
No, it's a good question. Any other questions? Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign, motion carries. 9.3, designation of identified official with authority in Iowa for education identity. This is a motion to approve Mr. Shannon Hunstead to act as the identified official with authority for the DGF school district number 2164. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Nicole, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Micah. Any questions or discussion?
That's just to approve all of our different directors and principals that they can sign off on certain things at the Minnesota Department of Ed. So it's an annual thing.
Yep. Other questions, discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to 9.4. This is to approve a resolution to accept donations.
Resolution accepting donations, whereas Minnesota statutes 123B.02 subdivision 6 provides the board may receive for the benefit of the district requests, donations, or gifts for any proper purpose and that apply the same to the purpose designated. In that behalf, the board may act as trustee of any trust created for the benefit of the district or for the benefit of the pupils thereof, including trusts created to provide pupils of the district with advanced education after completion of high school and the advancement of education. And whereas Minnesota statute 465.03 provides any city, county, school district, or town may accept or grant or devise of real or personal property and maintain such property for the benefit of its citizens in accordance with the terms prescribed by the donor. Nothing herein shall authorize such acceptance or use for religious or sectarian purposes. Every such acceptance shall be by resolution of the governing body adopted by 2/3 majority of its members expressing such terms in full. And whereas every such acceptance shall be by resolution of the governing body adopted by 2/3 majority of its members expressing such terms in full. Therefore be it resolved that the school board of Dilworth Clinton Felton Public Schools ISD 2164 gracefully accepts the following donations as identified below. From an anonymous donor in the amount of annual flower plants for the DGF Elementary Pollinator Garden from the DGF class of 2004 in the amount of $556.24 for the Carrie Crumwhitey Memorial Pollinator Garden at DGF Elementary. From Shields in the amount of $1,000 for DGF Summer Rec.
Very good. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Lindsay, do I have a second? Second by Nicole. Any questions or discussion? Just to thank all those folks that have donated, very much appreciated. Even if the resolution is a little bit long, we still very much appreciate it. Any other questions or discussion? It's a resolution, so we have to do a roll call.
Yes, aye.
Nicole?
Aye.
David, aye. Lindsay?
Aye.
Amy?
Aye.
Resolution passes. All right, on to 9.5. This is for the approval of the fiscal year 25-26 school nursing agreement with Lake County Public Health. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Nicole, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Amy. Any questions or discussion?
Are we maintaining the same current staff that we have?
Yeah.
We have three, right?
Two.
Two?
We have
Two
two
are
nurses and then we have one,
Health aide.
health aide
Okay.
in the elementary. Yep. Yep.
And the contract's relatively similar?
Yeah, it's just a little increase on the hourly rate, nothing crazy, just makes, some basic stuff there. The one thing that, I want to visit with Kathy about is, when they have to be gone for something and the coverage, and often we end up covering it. And then, what does that look like at the end of the year? That's something I want to sit down with her and just kind of make sure we both understand. That hourly rate then, does that change? Does that stay the same? What does that look like? And I just want to, so I'm going to get all that information, the data, how many days were missed, how many this and that. Maybe it's not a big deal, maybe it is. I just have to dig into it. I want to vet it out better. So it kind of makes you pause and go, okay, they're here, they're wonderful, they've done a great job, both of them. It's just, we're squeezing every penny we can right now, so I gotta look at that too. So, anyway.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 10.1, the next board meeting is Monday, June 24th, 2024 at 6 p.m. here at the DGF Community Room in Glendon. 10.2 is the Personnel Committee will follow that meeting at the conclusion of that meeting at the same site. On to number 11, motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Lindsay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Nicole. Questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. 6:31.
I apologize for being late. I was stuck at work.
I don't know why you don't run out of the courtroom, I don't get yeah.
Well, I had to pick someone out. There actually had to be three of us in the courtroom. That's why I wasn't able to pick. Somebody was angry.
So I think